Hello, spider friends. We are live. Um, we are tonight going to be doing a live feeding for my smaller spider babies. These are all the ones that are in the tiny cups and the ones that are in my small boxes. And also, if she comes back out again, I want to try and show you both. So I'm just going to have a look at her. This is my Tapinaceous cupreus boa. I think she's gone back in to her hide. She appears to have shed because she was out earlier and she was looking much larger than she was the last time I saw her. So I will be trying to tempt her out with a smaller cricket. She actually has in here, you may be able to see, a smaller dubia that is still alive because I tried her out on that. She doesn't seem to be interested in eating that, so I'm going to offer her a cricket. Oh, there she is, there she is, there's a little leggies. She, she doesn't seem interested in the dubia, and I can't seem to retrieve the dubia because every time I go it hides, and then I risk destroying Bo's funnel web, so it's just not going to happen. But I thought, you know what, let's try and offer Bo a cricket and see if she's hungry. I've taken a look at her fangs. They look to be dark when she was on the side earlier. So I'm only going to offer her a small cricket. Well, not the very small cricket, but a smaller cricket. Just to see if she's hungry. I've got some locusts for the bigger ones, and they're going to have their feeding after this. But I shall do it in a separate stream. Now, where are you? Right, she's right here. You may not be able to see her until she moves. So let's just try putting, oh, right, we've put it on our web. Are you going to have a wriggle? No, this is not going to be a live takedown, I am afraid. But at least I can monitor that and see if she eats that and if she's hungry. Okay, so my smaller spiders. This is Ralph, my Brachypelma hamori. If you've been watching my channel for a while, for the spider videos at least, you will be aware Ralph was in a larger tub to begin with. I have downsized him. And he's quite happy in this downsized cup, as it were. I really underestimated the term slow growing, let me tell you. When someone said Brachypelma hamoris were slow growers, I had no idea. Ralph is a year old and he's only shed once for me. I'm just gonna throw this little thing in for him. There is the cricket. There's the remains of his last one, which he did eat, and the springtails are getting him. So he's got a few springtails in there. Not that I've put them in there, they just happen to sort of spread throughout my enclosures. But Ralphie is in there, and if he's hungry, he'll have something. Now this is Jinx, who's Nahandu carapanensis, a Brazilian red. This is Jinx right here. And where did I put the macro lens? Poop. Okay, I was going to do the macro lens thing, but I've put it down somewhere and I can't see it. So first off, we're just going to top up moisture. When they're this size, I don't give them a water bowl. I just put a few drops of water into the substrate, and that seems to do for them. Lid back on as I go grab a cricket, because we don't want an escaped tarantula, or should I say another escaped tarantula, because I do have an escaped tarantula in my house somewhere, not sure where, but it'll turn up eventually. Like maybe Christmas or something, it'll turn up. webbing itself in the Christmas tree. I mean, I can just imagine that happening. I mean, the cat doesn't already try and destroy the Christmas tree as it is, let alone with a tarantula in it. Because, you know, as we all know, the favourite food of cats is tarantulas, apparently. I will be doing a Spooktober review as well at some point if you've been interested in my film reviews. I am literally just trying to catch a cricket right now. But tonight I'm taking a break from the new films and I'm going to watch Arachnophobia because I haven't seen it in really long. And I feel like that's going to be a fun thing to watch. Right. In, Tiny Cricket. In. In you go with Jinx. Tiny Cricket over here. Spooder over there. Let's... we'll leave that there. We'll just see what happens. Here we've got Teal, who is a Sericopelma augustum, a Costa Rican red rump. These were formerly Brachypelma. Here it is here. This is... The problem with these tubs is they do have a lot of, like, sticky from labels, and I need to get some, like, blank ones, really. There's some water. I'm going to... Do you know what? I'm going to get this ever so slightly bigger cricket for this one. Because it is slightly bigger. Oh, are you going to get eaten? Are you going to get eaten? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're on the other side. I have a slight problem trying to catch these flipping crickets, which I'm sure is very interesting in a live stream, looking at nothing and just hearing me babble. This is a bit big, this one. It's also hard sometimes trying to distinguish if one is actually dead or if it's playing dead, because crickets play dead. They don't want you to eat them. They assume you're a bird of some description, so they try and play dead. Right, okay. Here we go, Teal. There's that cricket playing dead. It's not dead, but it is, like, frozen. So it can try and make a mockery of this. It's also literally on top of the spider, and the spider is not bothered about it whatsoever. Oh my god. They say you should try and feed slings twice a week. In what world, honestly? If you try and get slings to eat twice a week, like, good luck to you. Well, it entirely depends on the sling. This is Pelma size my Brazilian blue ganja. This is ganja. Here, done some really pretty tiny little webbing that you can't really see on camera. Catch him a cricket. Obviously, you need to ignore whatever's written in pen on the bottles. These are just repurposed from previous mystery boxes and spider deliveries and things. I very, very nearly actually had my own supply of baby crickets. Very nearly, because Dwayne, the Rock, Scorpion, likes to ignore its food and just let it wander around in his enclosure for a while. And because scorpions are a lot tougher than tarantulas, oh, this one's run away from its cricket. How cute. You can leave live food in with scorpions. It doesn't really matter. They won't be able to get hurt by crickets like tarantulas can. And it had left its crickets in long enough for the cricket to lay eggs. And lots of baby crickets were dead in its water bowl. Like, they've all drowned now. So if I'd have known, I could have dug them out. I could have had my own little baby cricket supply. But no, they're all drowned. This is my Hapalopus columbia, big pumpkin patch, cherry, Now, the other day, look how lovely this is webbed. You might not be able to tell on camera, but it is lovely webbing. The other day, I saw a link which was like a repost from Lad Bible on one of my tarantula groups, and it was a video from Exotic Slayer. Now, if you're familiar with Exotic Slayer, you know that that person is a little bit controversial. I am not someone who's actually watched many of his videos. It's just not been something that I've watched regularly. But Exotic Slayer, in this video, he was trying to breed two pumpkin patch spiders, and the female ate the male, but the female was like 3 times the size of the male. Like, usually the females are bigger than males, but this was absolutely just gigantic compared to the male. And some people were saying, oh yeah, that's right, they're both mature. And I was like, well, actually there are 2 forms of pumpkin patch. There's the small and the large, and I've got the feeling that he had a small male and he was trying to pair it with a large female. It's like the difference between hobby form, oh no, hobby form and true form curly hairs. They're actually 2 different like subspecies, so that's why I think that poor little male got eaten. But yeah, this is my large one, which ironically is the smaller one because my bigger one is a small one. I know, it makes total sense. Anyway, right, that's a little Cherry. Cherry will definitely eat that because pumpkin patches are really good eaters. Also, incredibly pretty, just an incredibly pretty spider. This is a Brachypelma vacans, a Mexican red rump. This is BB. Now, originally, BB was going to be part of an experiment. Hello, sorry, I just collapsed some soil on you. There you go. BB was going to be part of an experiment. I had 2 of these, which was meant to be part of the same egg sac that I picked up at the Northern Invert Show. However, I quickly assessed that the other one of these looked very poorly and just was not like a healthy looking sling. So I immediately decided against doing the experiment, which was only going to be an experiment in water delivery, but I decided to not do that and to try and make the other one healthy. So BB's label still says test subject on it, and obviously she's not a test subject anymore. But baby, are you interested in this cricket? Are you interested in this cricket at all? Do you want it? I'll leave it in, and if you're hungry you can get it later. See if we can try and... This is BB. There we go. There she is. This is maybe her first time on camera. So I know that's not the greatest of quality, and with it live streaming it's not going to be even better, but she is a very reclusive spider. Like, I don't know if all vegans are like this, but she's pretty much been buried since I had her. She's a little pet hole. Speaking of which, Pedro is my Bumbacabulcla. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. He's Brazilian redhead, because I've never seen anyone else have one, really, that I watch regularly. So he, again, is a year old now. Well, almost. Nearly. Since November. I got him in November. This is him now. He, again, is a small, a slow grower. He's a beautiful, beautiful spider. I'm just going to put that hide back, and I'm going to drop a cricket in for him. He is a beautiful spider, but he has spent the majority of his time with me buried in his substrate. Like when I first got him, he came out a little bit, but not now. So I've got the feeling when he's older, he's going to be a famous pet hole. Doesn't look like he's interested in that cricket either, but that's what tomorrow's feed check is all about. So this is actually a garden spider, which I ended up adopting because it was going to get eaten. It sort of wandered a bit too close into another garden spider's territory, who was like twice the size of this particular one. And I thought, for science, I will rescue this spider that would have otherwise been eaten. And we'll just throw the cricket in for them. And we'll just see how well it does in captivity. For this one, what I do, he's got no substrate because he's garden spider and he's an orb weaver. It's up here. I actually think it's a girl. I put like just some fresh water in, like rainwater, and I just throw some fresh crickets in there, and this is like a super duper happy little spider. So I've been like recording all sorts of stuff to do with this little garden spider as I've had it, like and it's done very well. Grammastola pulchripes. This is Spice. Where is he? He's under his leaf. He's under his leaf. Spice was a gift from a friend. Very, very small spooder this is. I don't know if you can see him. He's just here. That's his butt. It's very shiny butt. We're going to offer a cricket up. Normally, he won't eat on camera. He'll just... he'll do it when he's good and ready. But I'll throw a cricket in for him and just see how he does. I always do. I always like leave him overnight and do a check the next day because, you know, sometimes they really do not want to eat on camera. Now, this is Martel. Martel is my Brachypelma boar, my Mexican fireleg. Martel is due an enclosure upgrade. This is Martel. It's getting to be a good size. Probably the next molt, he'll definitely need a bigger enclosure. I have already moved Momo up to a bigger enclosure as well, who is my Brachypelma albipilosum true form curly hair. But with Momo, they definitely needed moving up, whereas Martel couldn't probably be okay in this one for a little bit. Now I'm going to drop this and see if he gets it, but he probably won't. I'm just telling you now. Just telling you now. Yeah, yep. Thank you for not calling me a liar, Martel. Martel once waited for a cricket to finish shedding its exoskeleton before eating it. So, yeah, this is a beautiful spider, off one of my favourites. Definitely one of my favourite tarantulas. Great temperament, has been good at growing, just in general been a very nice spider to keep. And I would highly recommend as like a beginner. Oh, Bo has come out. Look at Bo, look at Bo. Now I know this is through a sort of, oh, she's gone again. It's through a slightly milky enclosure, but you can see how tiny her abdomen is. So that does look to me like a freshly malted spooder. She was interested in the cricket, but I've disturbed her, so I'll leave her alone now. And now we have my Phomictopus arotus Venezuela Fluffy. I love Fluffy. Fluffy is so cute. Where are you, Fluffy? There you are. Just topping up water first. Oh, Fluffy. is also probably going to need an enclosure upgrade at some point. However, he's going to be just upgraded to one of my like regular tubs, because when I first got him, I was out completely of this size tub. So just put them in this one. There is really nothing wrong with it. It's just I do like to have a little bit of space to play with. When it comes to feeding in particular, and I don't think it does them any harm, really, to give them a little bit of extra growing room, because it means you don't have to change their enclosures as often. Like with like Martel's been in that since being like a little spiderling, and he's done fine, and he's now almost ready for a big enclosure upgrade. Well, not a big one, but like next size up for what I normally have. So we're going to drop a cricket in for Fluffy and see if Fluffy wants to grab it. I'm going to take out the leaf. Or maybe I'm not, because Fluffy has buried it. Here we go. Here is Fluffy. Maybe there's Fluffy. There's Fluffy. Right, Fluffy, I'm going to drop you your cricket. And you're going to run away from it, of course. Of course. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That cricket is missing like a big back leg, so it's not going to be too challenging for Fluffy. Now, a non-spider. This is Tiny. You might not be able to see Tiny when I adjust. This is Tiny. Can you see Tiny? Can you see Tiny in this box? If I point Tiny out, might you be able to see Tiny? This is Tiny. Tiny is my baby scorpion. Now, when I ordered Tiny, I did read the thing, and it said like scorpling, like second in star, and I read it, but yet still I expected it to be bigger, and I don't know why. I think I was just being an idiot. But Fluffy only eats when Fluffy feels like Tiny only eats when Tiny feels like it, which isn't as often as I would like. So like half the time I will open it up and just find like a dead fuzzy mouldy cricket that Tiny hasn't eaten, but sometimes he does. So I've just thrown a cricket in there, and he'll either eat it or he'll kill it and then just leave it to rot, because he's a very, very wasteful tiny little scorpion. Honestly, can't wait till it gets bigger. But I have no idea how fast scorpions grow, at least that this species. It's a L. australacea, which is a parthenogenic species, which is great. But yeah, I vastly underestimated how tiny was. And I've tried adding in things for like enrichment, but Tiny just likes hiding underneath his little water ball thing, so leave him to it. Let's just check some of these, see if they've eaten the crickets. No, Ralph's is on the other side. Jinx. Jinx looks like Jinx is thinking about it, but hasn't eaten his. I can see that one. Oh. Ganja looks like he's stalking the cricket, or getting ready to stalk the cricket. And Cherry Bakewell. Cherry is not bothered, but the cricket is wrapped up well in the web, which is cool. Because my other pumpkin doesn't web at all. So, like, my other one lives in a hole, lives in like a little damp hole, so it's quite cool actually seeing one webbing. But yeah, that was feeding my smaller spiders. And we're going to do a separate live stream for the bigger ones because why not? Why not? Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to watch the bigger ones. Hit the notification bell; it'll tell you when I'm live streaming. And I'll see you again next time.